Hi, I'm Steven with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca. Welcome to my garden. On today's episode, we're going to check in on our winter greens to see how they're doing. In late August, we planted a variety of leafy greens. They're all cold hardy and include Mache, miner's lettuce, winter blend, and sorrel. All of these varieties are extremely cold hardy and should survive the winter if given some protection. So in the beginning of October, we placed the cold frame on the plants and put the hoop house over it for additional protection when temperatures dropped to -7 Celsius or 19 Fahrenheit. So this year has been a very odd year for weather. We had the earliest frost in 10 years, followed by record highs, a quick drop to -40, and then record highs again. It is important to keep the snow off the hoop house so the winter light can penetrate and heat the hoop house and cold frame. I usually wait for the snow to stop and then brush it off quickly. So let's take a look at the plants to see how they're doing. What I'll do is I'll carefully remove the plastic from the hoop house and crack the cold frame open. It looks like the plants are doing well, however they're not large enough to harvest this winter. So likely what's happened here is twofold. First, the plants have gone into dormancy, and this is likely to do with the fact that the temperatures have stayed low and there's not enough direct sun hitting our hoop house to heat it up during the day. The sun is much lower in the sky in the winter than in the summer, meaning the houses are actually shading this part of the garden a little too much. So with the winter solstice fast approaching, we have an opportunity here to figure out where the sun is the best in our garden during the lowest point of the year. So all is not lost. In fact, this is still a win. Although we're not harvesting this winter, we're going to get a really early start in the spring and have leafy greens coming out of the garden well before we're even able to plant our garden, because the sun will rise in the sky, it will heat up that hoop house, and those plants will come back from their dormancy. I'll also start the plants a little bit earlier in the fall in order to give them some time to really get up and get running, because they're not probably going to be in active growth even if they got a little bit more sun. But if they're large enough, they can be harvested during warm days and enjoyed in your house. The second thing I'm going to do is improve my setup a little bit. So this hoop house is a little low to the ground, and what that does is it actually blocks the lid of the cold frame inside. So I'm going to put the hoop house up a little bit by putting longer PVC pipes on there, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run a vertical brace across the top. What this will help me do is keep the snow load off, because every time the snow comes in, it presses this down, and it makes it a little harder to manage. But if it's got a rigid roof peak, it'll actually fall off a lot easier. I thought in today's episode I'd give you a special goodbye. I really hope you and your families have a fantastic and safe holiday season. I have a lot planned for 2015, and I look forward to sharing and going on this journey with you. Have a fantastic holiday season, my friends, and we'll see you in 2015.